Barbaras, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Connie Cheung, and she's going to do some quick and easy Asian-inspired dishes. So welcome, Connie.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, and I love the name of this first. We're going to do a couple of stir fries, right? One is, I love the name of the first one. It's the empty, what is it?
Empty the fridge out stir fry. So it's a great end of the week dish when you have a bunch of leftover vegetables, some proteins, and you want to use everything up. You can make a really good meal with what you have. So empty out the fridge, end of the week.
Great, I love that. So first thing, I like this dish because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make an omelet, and that makes it a little bit unusual too than what most people think about as a stir fry. And also, I guess we'll introduce people to the fresh lo mein noodles. Now I know that you get a lot of your products at the Asian market, and I do too if you're near an Asian market, but if you're not, Nasoya, I guess, they do a Japanese and a Chinese stir-fry fresh noodle that you can find in the fresh produce section of your supermarket, and that's where I found these. Well, actually where they had more of the Asian vegetables like the snow peas, sugar snap peas. Right, correct. So these are easy to find, and they come in a 9-ounce package, so we're going to use the fresh lo mein noodles for our first dish, correct?
Yep.
But if you are near an Asian market, you can get them, you know.
You can buy different kinds of lo mein noodles.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so this should work for this. So I guess we should start with whipping up the omelet, right? I'm going to break the eggs, and then I'm going to let you take over once you can show me how you do your omelet. So, all right. Okay, and is that good?
Perfect,
For the,
yeah.
Okay, great. And so now we're going to pour these into the pan, let the pan heat up. All right, so we're ready to pour the eggs in. I'll let Connie, you can show me how you make your omelet here.
I'm just going to pour them right in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
Thank you.
I'll put that in the sink. And now I should drop the noodles in. And I guess I should probably stir them around a little bit to break them up, and I'm going to time them for 3 minutes. It's going to take a few minutes.
Yep, it's going to take a few minutes. I usually like to lift up the edges and let the egg go underneath so it cooks.
Oh, that's the same way I do it.
Yep.
Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, and that is a good method to teach people too. Yeah. Is that flame high enough, or?
Yep, it's looking good.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Okay.
We'll just take a couple minutes for the egg to completely cook. We're going to just fold it in half and then cook it a little bit longer.
All right.
Let's see if this will. There we go. Just want to make sure it's cooked almost all the way through. Makes it easier to chop too if it's not gooey in the middle.
Right.
Even though it tastes good like that.
Here's my. Look at those nice fresh lo mein noodles. These, I'm really
Those look
looking
really
forward
good.
to trying these. Okay. And this is going to make about 3½ cups. Okay.
So the omelet is done cooking now, and we're just going to bring it over to the stove so it can cool.
Okay, we're ready to begin this stir fry. So, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just briefly go over the ingredients. We're starting with a red pepper. We've got garlic. We have, we're actually going to use sugar snap peas in this recipe, but I just wanted to just point out the differences quickly. A lot of people may be used to seeing this, Connie, and these are the snow peas, right? But I think you like the sugar snap because they're a little bit sweeter and more of a crispness to them. So just wanted to point out the differences. So snow peas and sugar snap, and I found these both beside each other at the supermarket. So again, we'll put this aside since we're going to just use the sugar snap peas today. Mung bean sprouts, and again, they come in a package like this, 7-ounce package, and we're using about half a package. And can you tell me, with all the different sprouts out there, why do you want to use the mung sprouts?
The mung bean sprouts work really well because they hold up in a stir fry. They don't get mushy, so you still have that good crunch. And you're not just eating something that's the same consistency as a noodle. So
Okay.
it works really well. It holds up. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I love these.
Yeah.
I've had these. And then we're going to have, we've got some chopped onion in this, and then we're going to use a protein. And we're using shrimp today, but you can use any type of protein, right?
Yeah, you can use tofu, you can use chicken, you can use beef. And the stir fry is pretty hearty, so if you don't add another protein, sometimes that's okay too, because you have the egg and you have all the vegetables, so
Yeah,
it's filling.
yeah. I can tell this is going to be
Yeah.
very hearty with the egg and everything else. And if it's too much to purchase the vegetables individually, look what I found. This is great. Stir fry blend, and you can also steam it in this package, and this is a nice little mix with snow peas, broccoli. It looks like shredded carrot, and I haven't figured out what that is, but that might be shredded
I think it's,
broccoli
yeah.
in that too. But this is very economical to do, and you just purchase this and you're all set to go. So just thought I'd point that out. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this is something I love to do on all my shows with the peppers. I learned this when I was in my cooking program at Johnson & Wales, and I love it. It's like you think of a pepper in quadrants when you go to cut it. So I'm going to go 1, and just on the outside, 2, 3, 4. And look at that, the whole, and then I just, because I don't like waste, so
Yeah.
I just cut the bottom like that. Voila. Isn't that nice? So you get the whole
That's nice
thing
and easy.
in my scrap bowl. So, and now how do you're just going to cut these in strips, right?
Yep, and then dice after you cut it into strips.
Okay, so we're going to go like this. And again, nice sharp knife. I'll just sharpen this morning actually. And then across like that, is that
Perfect.
small enough? Okay.
That's great.
So that finishes up the pepper, and Connie, I'm going to turn it over to you for the garlic. Show people how they can chop garlic. Let's see. There you go. And while you're doing that, I'm going to start heating up our pan here.
Right. So an easy way to get the skin off the garlic, just smush it with the back of your knife, and you can just peel it off easily so you're not just standing there peeling it forever.
And I love that, because I have to tell you, when I first started making Asian dishes years ago, it was Yan on Yan Can Cook, was that?
Yep, Yan Can Cook.
And when
The
he
first
did
time you
that
saw him do
method,
it.
I'm like, oh my God, I love that.
It's genius. Why didn't I think of it?
Yeah.
So you
And then it just comes off easily. And
peels right off.
Yeah.
Then you just cut the little hard part off at the end.
Oh, okay. So you leave it in,
And then I'll chop it a little
Oh,
bit finer,
okay.
so just slice it up.
yep. And I love the garlic.
Oh, garlic and everything.
Yep.
I don't even mind having garlic hands. I like the smell.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, love that. When you think about how garlic is central too to
So many
all
different
right,
kinds of foods.
'cause, you know,
Yep.
my background is Mediterranean, and I love, and of course, you know, the Greek onions, garlic, everything
Yep.
begins with onions, garlic, and olive oil.
Yeah.
So
In Asian
and
cuisine.
Italian,
Yep.
and
In Asian cuisine, it's garlic, ginger, and a lot of times scallion. So it's
Yeah.
the base to a lot of things. So now we can chop these. Just take the ends off.
oh, okay, all right,
You can just do a really rough chop, big pieces. So
all right. Let me get you another bowl. All right, so Connie, I see you're just about done cutting up those sugar snap peas.
yep. So I'm all done with this now, and the omelet has cooled. I'm just gonna slice it up real quick. You can just
Yeah,
make
that
it
looks
into
good.
nice, long, thin slices.
Oh, okay. And I've got the pan heating over here. All right.
Okay, so that's all set.
All right. Oh, that oil looks hot now. Okay, Connie. Onions first?
Yep, so
okay.
put the onions right in.
All right. Oh, that's hot. Okay.
Perfect.
That many onions, or did I add too many?
That's a good amount of onions. We'll cook them up. They won't be too strong.
Okay, okay. So what do you just soften them a little? Is that what we're doing?
Yep, just soften them a little bit so they're not crunchy.
Okay. But why don't you tell me a little bit about your background? Like, where did you learn these recipes? Did you grow up, you know, making food like this?
I did. I've always liked to cook. My dad, going through college, he worked at a bunch of Chinese restaurants. So he was always at the wok making the stir fries and all the really good dishes, and he cooked a lot at home. So I grew up loving to cook because of my dad. And
yeah, that's great.
yeah. And interestingly enough, my mom is an okay cook, and the stir fry is one of her signature dishes. So
Ah, okay.
I learned this from my mom.
All right. And I think that's something that's so important that seems to be lacking today is a lot of people do not know the basics of cooking.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm hoping that we're going to get through to a few people by doing dishes like this, because what's great about it is it's a one-dish meal.
It is, and it's actually faster and, you know, it's easier than people would think, you know.
Right.
So hopefully when people watch this, they'll see that you just have a little bit of prep and then it's really
Yep.
easy to cook it all together.
Yeah.
So we can now add the garlic.
All right. Couple cloves of garlic, right?
Yep. So we just want to brown the garlic a little bit, but not too much because it burns easily, and then...
Okay. Want a little more oil? Or?
Yeah, a little bit
That's
would be good.
Okay. And we're using safflower, correct? So.
Yep, you could use any kind of light oil. You don't want to use olive oil because it'd be a little heavy.
Yes. Yeah. What about peanut oil? I know in a lot of Asian cooking they seem to use peanut oil, and I know it has a little bit more flavor.
It has flavor and it also has a high smoke point, so you can cook over a wok with that kind of oil and it won't burn.
Okay.
So that
Again, that's good to know, because I like using different oils for
Yep.
different dishes too. So.
canola works.
Yeah. Great.
It smells really good.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Garlic and onions.
Mmm. Mmm.
So now we can do the sugar snap peas
Okay.
and the peppers.
Sugar snap and peppers. Okay.
So we just want to cook these really quickly so they stay crunchy. And
Okay. Should I turn the heat up a little bit, or?
I think it's at a good heat. This should.
Okay. All right. Good. And the.
And the peppers.
Yeah. This is going to feed a lot of people.
It is.
I think.
So now we can add the shrimp real quick.
Okay. So we've left the shrimp whole, but if you don't want to leave it whole, you can just rough chop it, correct?
Yeah, shrimp can be expensive, so even if you buy a smaller amount of them, you can just chop them into small pieces and it'll stretch out throughout the meal.
Okay, great. Yeah, because this is a good pound that I have
Yep.
right here. So.
They're beautiful.
Oh,
Smells really
boy.
good.
And now I've cooked the shrimp. You know, I didn't even think about that when I was prepping for this. You don't have to though, right?
You don't have to, but it is easier because then you can just throw them straight in at the end and have everything ready. So
Okay.
everything's already pre-chopped, you know, pre-made, so just reheating it through.
You've got the,
We've got
you're
the
going to use
noodles.
soy sauce and this sriracha hot sauce.
Yep.
And this you can get in the supermarket,
You
correct?
can. You can get it in the international section of your normal grocery store. If not, if you have an Asian grocery store, it's cheaper there. So.
Okay, all right,
good
great.
hot sauce.
And if you don't have that, then you can use Tabasco or anything, but it's not the same.
It's not
this
the
is
same.
The stuff.
This
yeah.
is, if you can find it, it's a good chili hot sauce. so.
Okay. And most people have soy, so
Yep.
soy sauce, so.
So now we can add in the mung beans, and I'll add in the egg.
Okay, mung beans.
Yep, the mung bean sprouts.
Okay.
So it's all coming together.
Wow. Looks good.
All right, now we can put the noodles in. Could probably put in a couple handfuls first
And
just
see what happens.
Yeah.
And another thing I noticed, Connie, if you're not going to use these right away in the dish, if they need to set out, you just rinse them again. If they start sticking,
Yep.
just rinse them with water, and they separate beautifully. So don't worry about that. Yeah, when you first drain them, rinse them, and If you need to rinse them again before you add them to separate them more, no problem.
Okay. So now we're gonna add some of this sriracha. Depends on how spicy you like it. So
Okay.
I usually do kind of
Some
just to
hot
coat.
sauce. Okay. This is great
little bit
party
of-
food, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
A little bit of soy sauce. You can also mix the soy sauce with the sriracha first.
Oh, okay.
which
All
works
right.
as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
That
good
looks
lunch.
beautiful. Again, colorful food, huh? It makes you wanna eat it, and it's appetizing, and
It's fresh too. It's
Yeah.
mostly vegetables.
yeah.
That's the last step. Just gonna add the egg in.
Ah, all right. So we're done, huh? After
Just
this.
about done.
Ah. And then you leave it in the longer pieces, so if you're stirring in it,
Yep, and it breaks
does break
apart.
it right, because if I can see if you do that first, yeah. So now it's kind of nice if you do want to break it up
Yep.
more, you can easily do it in
You can
the
just
pan.
control. Yep. There you go.
That looks great. Wow. And again, we've used the low sodium,
Yep.
low soy, low sodium
Soy sauce.
sauce, which I know a lot of people like. So
It tastes just as good.
yeah,
so.
I think so too, because I know sometimes people say, "Oh, soy, it's so
Some-
salty,"
yeah.
and this was great when they come out with this. Yeah.
So we're just about done with this. Once we take it off, we can taste it and adjust the seasoning for heat and saltiness.
Okay, great. So we're going to put this on the stove top, cover it up, and we're going to prepare your next dish, which is lettuce.
wraps.
Yeah, these sound like a lot of fun. So, and we're going to have a lot of food to eat.
We are. You'll have lots of leftovers for tomorrow and the rest of the week. All right.
Hello, and we're back. And Connie, we're going to be making lettuce.
We're going to be making lettuce wraps. So this is a lot of fun. I like to make it for company because a lot of the ingredients you can make ahead of time, and once your guests come, it's very little work.
Okay, terrific. So, but I just figured this would be nice. We're going to explain some of the ingredients that are central to Asian cooking, so some of our viewers that are unfamiliar with them will know. We talked earlier about the sriracha hot sauce, okay?
Yep.
So we have that. Rice wine vinegar, which is just a nice mild vinegar, correct? And
Yep.
as you pointed out earlier, you can also get this seasoned. Okay, so it's just a nice mild vinegar. Hot mustard, the Chinese hot mustard, which you can find in the international section of your grocery market. We've already talked about the soy sauce earlier. Sesame oil, this has got a really nice flavor to it, but one thing I want to point out to viewers, a lot of it, I've seen a couple of bottles that just say pure sesame oil and it's dark brown. That's the toasted sesame oil, and although it doesn't state it on the bottle, that is toasted. You want to make sure it's clear, correct? Because
Yep.
the toasted is a very deep flavor. So just get the regular sesame oil. And again, any of these ingredients, if you guys are near an Asian market, you're going to get these at a fraction of the cost of a local grocery store. So just keep that in mind. What else do we, oh, Connie, this is interesting. Dried porcini mushrooms. Now, again, these pretty much, I think you're only going to find these at an Asian market, but what can you can sub?
You can sub any kind of meatier mushroom, a cremini, maybe a portobello, and just chop it up into smaller little cubes.
Okay.
So you
all
don't
right.
have to rehydrate them either if you buy them fresh.
Okay, and then you can add it into the stir fry and cook them at that
same way,
time.
yep.
But these are the ones that you rehydrate. And what did you do with this? Pour it into
Yep, so the night
hot
before,
water.
I put
Yep.
hot water, just put the dried mushrooms into it and just let them soak overnight. And then after that today, I drain them and just chop them up.
Oh, you did a rough chop earlier. That's correct. Okay, and I just want to show viewers what they look like rehydrated, and they smell wonderful, and they've got a nice deep rich broth, which we're going to be able to use some of the
Yep.
broth in the stir fry, correct?
So the lettuce wrap, usually just core it, just using this paring knife. Cut the core out. This way you get some really nice little cups.
All right, so yep, you go a little bit wider probably. Yeah, you want to do like a...
And you can just pull it out.
Ah, beautiful.
Pull the core out of
Great,
it.
okay.
Then you have these perfectly large cups.
Look at that. Yeah, see, I love this. I can't wait to compose this.
So you can just put all your fillings in there and wrap
Ah.
it up. And this is something you can do the night before, and you can just
Which is
put them
exactly
into...
what I did when you told me that. Put it in a large Ziploc. You just rinse them, right? You just need to rinse them. Use 2 different sauces, correct?
Yep, so one of the sauces we already pre-made. There's brown sugar, soy sauce, and some rice wine vinegar in there. I just stirred it up, so that's going to go into the meat once we cook it. And the second sauce I'm going to make right now, which has a bunch of ingredients. Started off with some sugar. I'm going to use some warm water just to dissolve the sugar.
Okay.
Just let it mix up a little bit.
Yeah, and I like the way you're using that container. That's probably like a 1-quart container that you, So it's going to make this very easy.
Yeah.
Then you just could, if you're doing this ahead of time like you normally would, just put it in the refrigerator and the cover and you're set to go.
Exactly. And this container is really handy because you can put all the ingredients in it and just shake it up. So
yeah, nice.
So I'm going to put the hot mustard into there.
All right.
Then it's a 1/4 cup of ketchup.
A little bit of sweetness, huh? Yeah.
Gotta have a little bit of sugar.
Hot and sweet, yeah, with the hot mustard.
The rice wine vinegar. Got some soy sauce.
Nice.
Some fresh lemon juice.
Oh yeah, wow.
So just, and then the last one is the sriracha for a little bit of heat. Just put the lid on.
Great, and that was easy.
Yep, and just put it on tight.
Shake it up and done, huh?
Yep. That should be. And that sauce will also add into the stir fry.
Wow, so we're ready to start the stir fry. I'm going to heat up the pan right now and we're going to add our garlic, onions, and then we're using turkey today, correct? Okay. All right, now what goes in? I got my onions. All right, onions first. Alrighty.
Then you can brown these a little bit.
All right. And Connie, you're a legal assistant at a Boston law firm, Sugarman?
I
am.
Yeah. I've been working there for over 4 years, and it's a little stressful, so it's nice to come home and cook and have people over and not think about work for a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Probably go ahead and add the garlic.
Okay. All right, so those seem softened enough. Okay, because they're going to cook more with the turkey, right? So we're just going to add some garlic. I think I chopped 3 cloves, I believe.
Yep. Just brown these slightly. Now you can start to smell the garlic.
Oh, yeah.
So now we can add the turkey.
Okay. Drop it in like that, and you're just going to break it up with the...
Yep.
Okay.
Just stir it up.
Okay, so we're just going to let that cook for a few minutes until all the pink is out, until it's slightly brown, correct? And then we'll...
Yep, and then we'll add the sauces.
Add the sauces, okay. So Connie, that's done now, right? All the pink is out, and it's, nice and brown. So now I add the mushrooms. Now, I'm sorry, earlier I said porcini. These are shiitake mushrooms.
The porcinis would work as well. So.
Okay, and they might be a little bit easier to find in this area.
That's true.
So, okay, great. That's a good point. You rehydrate them the same way. So here goes the shiitakes. Ah, this looks great.
And if you want to take over the stirring, then I'll add this first sauce, which we pre-made, and it had the brown sugar, the soy sauce, so you get the sweetness in there. I'm just gonna pour that right in.
Super.
So we'll just coat that. So the second sauce is going to go in. And I didn't mention that there's also a little bit of the sesame oil in it, so I'm going to add that in there as well.
Okay, great.
Just want that for a little bit of that flavor.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just give it a quick stir. And then I'll pour this right into it as well.
Like about half that?
Yep,
you
about
say?
half
Okay.
of it.
Oh,
Just
wow.
give it a stir.
Okay. Now, is this going to thicken up, or you wait for some of it to evaporate?
Wait for a little bit of it to evaporate, and it just soaks into the meat as well. So.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So we'll let this go, what, a couple of minutes?
Yep, a couple more
And then
minutes
we'll
so it
show
soaks in.
Okay, great, great. And then it's ready to wrap,
Yep.
correct? Wow, look at that. And all the flavors are being soaked up with the meat and the mushrooms, huh, Connie? So is that done?
Yep, so it's done now.
Okay, yeah, I can see where most of the liquid has been evaporated. I'm going to shut this off. And is it time to eat?
It's lunchtime.
And I can't wait for you to show me how to use these wraps. I think this is
All right,
going to
it's
be
a little
fun.
messy, but it's worth it.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, Connie, I guess we're going to wrap it up now.
I'm so excited to eat.
Oh, yeah, so we have, I just want to show this beautiful, clean, what is it, clean your fridge out?
Empty out the fridge,
Empty
stir
out
fry.
the fridge, stir fry, okay. And we've already, put some of those in our bowls, and now you're going to show me how to do the wraps, okay?
So we already have the lettuce cups all set. Just put a good portion, but not too much so it bursts the lettuce.
Okay.
A couple good scoops.
Wow.
And you also chop these water chestnuts ahead of time because some people like them in the mix.
Okay.
I don't actually like it, so I always put it on the side, but if you know everyone's going to like it, you can add it straight into the meat mixture. So I'm going to pass this to you.
Okay, okay, great. And I love water chestnuts, and those just come in in the can.
Yep, and you just drain them.
Okay, Asian section or vegetable section.
Yep.
So, okay, yeah, I love these for the crunch.
And there's
Okay.
also a little bit of extra sauce if you want to add that.
Oh yeah, that's why you made the large batch. This
If
is
you want a
great.
little bit more.
Okay, so just pour a little on top. Okay.
And then I'll take a little bit of that.
Yeah, these are fun. Oh, I can't
little
wait to make
messy,
these at my next.
But it's worth it. And then just wrap it up.
Ah, so just like this.
And just
Just-
roll them.
Ah. Oh, I like this.
Mm.
Mmm.
Good?
Mmm. Great.
Mm. You taste all the different flavors, the spice,
Yum.
the saltiness.
Sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
It's got it all. And these noodles. Let's check this out.
You also have the stir fry.
Yep. A nice shrimp.
Mm-hmm. And these noodles that you bought work really well.
Mm. Thank you, and they're easy to find, so that's a big plus. All right, well, thank you so much, Connie. I appreciate you coming down today and showing me some really great preparation of some Asian food. So,
Well, I had so much fun, so I'm glad that I was able to come and learn some new things from you, and I hope that you learned some stuff about some ingredients you wouldn't usually use.
oh, I definitely did, and I know the viewers did too. So thank you very much.
Thank you.